We're live. Hi, Luca Biscotti. Come here, Biscotti. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Where am I? Who am I? Richard's here. Hello, Richard. I'm just trying to track and see if I'm missing anybody. Did I miss anybody, guys? I'm sorry if I did. I'm going to try to do this. This is the main place where I won't lose power. So I know it's a little bright on one side, that side, which is really this side. So if I move, I may lose connection. So where in the world am I? Well, I'm in upstate New York. Oh, thanks, Indigo. I don't have any of my hair accoutrement, so I am in upstate New York taking care of my brother's 3 dogs, and they will be joining us shortly because I block them from the main front door, and there's a little side door that they'll figure out is open, and they'll come running in, and they're huge golden retrievers. Right now I have Ava at my feet. I have Luca at one side, and Biscotti went to a couch. They're really adjusting, they're struggling to adjust. And here comes Lucy. All right, Luce, come on, you're going to have to come here. Oh, good golly. What do I tell all of you guys? Can I even tilt down a little? This is Lucy. Lucy, turn around to the camera and say hello to everybody. All right, that's it. You're done. Can you please come over here? Come on. Nomine Patri, Filii Tuo Spiritus Sancti. Oh my God. All right, she's down at my feet. They are needy dogs. Needy, needy, needy. Not that Luca and Biscotti aren't, but not in the same way. And you guys would laugh so much. So I've shared with you guys that I'm struggling with weight and I'm a little bit out of shape. And when I'm here, I have a long walking stick because I don't have to, but there's a path to take the dogs to the top of a hill. It's more of a mountain climb. And I think last time I shared with you that scary Deliverance tune. Well, walking it is scarier than driving it for sure. And it takes me a good 15, 20 minutes to get to the top of this hill. And in order to get the dogs their exercise, my brother has this stick that you put the tennis ball in and you throw it, right? They lose these balls all the time. And I looked at these dogs and I said, you lose that ball, I am not going in those woods to find them for you. But I am plumb tuckered out from that walk. And I've been doing these new exercises because there's not a lot else to do here for me. All my stuff, every time I want to go do something, I'm like, shoot, I left that at home. But it's beautiful here. It's, and when I think about, well, is this really someplace I want to move to? I might. It is very remote. So if there's an option to be closer to a street or a town, I would be much more agreeable to that. So let's see who's in the chat. Scotty boy. Hey, hey, hey. Nice to see you. You got a purty mouth. Who's got a purty mouth? Who are we talking about? Who's got a purty mouth? Someone say something nice. Look, it's Mish in the house. All right, I got to get sitting Indian style so I can get comfy here. Now that will be my theme song. I know I can't get that tune out of my head when I'm here. And for those of you that appreciate my musical or lack thereof of lyrics, you should hear me walking up the mountains making lots of noise because there are things here. And I'm telling you, I just make up dog songs to tunes that I know. And it is quite entertaining. So, oh my gravy. Yes, Defiance. Oh, I thought it was Deliverance. Defiance. Whatever they see. I don't even get the the title right. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I didn't bring a curling iron. It's well water from the mountains, so I'm just like whatever. Oh, it is deliverance. Okay, good, good. I was hoping I got it right, but either way. So, what time is it? 5 past the hour. So first, let me just say greetings and salutations to everyone. For those of you that are new, I am your host, Teresa. This is my channel, Wounds to Wisdom. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Karen Suki, I haven't seen you in a dog's age. So nice to see you. I've seen you on several other channels, and I'm like, I miss Karen Suki too. So I'm so glad you're here. Oh, I'm sorry. I just disrupted my little pupper. And you'll probably see some more coming. No, the other two are down for the count. So we'll see what happens with, I know Biscotti's in another room, and Safta is outside the front door, but she'll probably, if she remembers, comes in the side door. But I needed some air conditioning. It's getting toasty here. Nice, no complaints, and I'm literally in the woods. So most of the house is shaded. I hope next week, now that I know I have signal in this spot, I'm going to test out the window area. There is that outdoor moon gate that I showed you guys in a picture. I'd like to do it out there. And Sunday, I got on the tractor and mowed my brother's lawn. And I need to get the push mower and push where the moon gate is. So I'll do that soon. Before next week, I hope, but who the hell knows? So anyway, how do the boys get along on their trip with their friends? Well, Luca and Biscotti are pretty easygoing dogs, but Lucy is incredibly needy as a golden retriever. Both my brother and his friend know this. And my dogs, including my love muffin Luca, snip at Lucy. Now, Lucy is obedient. She'll defer to them, but I don't want that behavior from my puppies. They're intimidated by the fact that the dogs just fly up the mountainside when we go for a walk. They miss their dog friends, I think. I'm not sure. They're discombobulated. They're like, what the hell are we doing here? And I don't have their toys here because these golden retrievers, they don't understand the word toy and they destroy them. So it's kind of funny. Oh, and now this one is dreaming. It makes a lot of noise. I tell you, what's even funnier, I'm on a twin size bed that's pushed next to the couch. 3 of the big dogs sit on a couch like this in the other room. My 2 dogs sleep with me. If I have to get up in the middle of the night, you know what I'm saying? It's like five visitors have to come with me, or they all sit up in bed and wait for me to come back. And if I don't come back in a reasonable time, they're going to greet me at the door. Look, it's wonderful. But wow, it's a lot. And just when I think, oh, wouldn't it be great to have all these dogs? I don't think so. I shouldn't have done that. Sorry. That was probably inappropriate. I'm taking everyone with me. Oh, what did Scotty say? When I saw the Bee Gees, I thought, I know this. Oh, no. Thanks for the song, Suki. I know it was a Bee Gee. Oh, I missed it. Let me go up. I missed a song. Oh, poop. Oh, Suki, do I love you, my oh my? Oh, you guys are so cute. All right. So here we go. What are we talking about today? Lord only knows. I don't know. I did try to put like this teleprompter app on my laptop. It did not work because I have notes, and yet I also still want to see you guys, right? So I thought, well, how creative could I be? and I'm struggling. So maybe at some point, oh, here's Ben. Trouble is here. How deep is your love, Ben? That's what we all want to know. We were talking about that before you got here. There's your BGs. All right. So we're in June. I missed the beginning. Last week was just too much for me. And Friday prepping, getting ready to come here and blah, blah, blah. So I'm back. I'm here. We're talking about June's archetype for receiving. And if I'm going to be honest, this is one of the most difficult ones because to receive means you have to be vulnerable in some capacity, right? It's when we have to, well, I don't want to use the word have to. That's the wrong adjective. It's when we learn to let something in. You know, we've been preparing for this. Support, clarity, resources, love, alignment, all these stuff. Receiving is not a passive thing. It's an energetic skill. It's our nervous system skill. It's also a spiritual skill. And so what does it really mean? Well, receiving means, at least for me, and I'm trying to watch the chat as well, so bear with me, but I've got some great mods, so they can pop in if I'm missing something. Receiving is really the art of allowing what we've prayed for, worked for, hoped for, aligned with to actually come into our life. And it's the opposite of over-controlling stuff. When we talked about in the beginning of the year, the archetypes, January was grounding our bodies. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat as I'm talking to you guys. February was opening our heart. March was clearing all the clutter and the cobwebs in our brain, right? In our spirit and our soul. April was emerging and being more visible to everybody. And May was, we talked about blossoming. And a lot of this used all of our gardening themes. June is where the universe says, now let me give to you. So I'm going to ask you guys, I've seen deliverance, not the kind of receiving. No squealing like a piggy. Yeah, I know. That was a horrifying movie to me. I don't even want to go there. So let's go back on a positive note. So what's one thing that you've been asking for that you haven't allowed yourself to receive? I would also ask you guys, do you find it easier to give or to receive? We're going to dive into it. I should have put a poll out there. Self-acceptance. Haven't allowed ourselves to receive. Yeah. You know, and what does receiving feel like in your body? So there are 4 pillars that we're going to talk about. Each pillar is sort of we could do a live on each of these, but I don't want to get that in depth. Again, for all of you listening and anyone that's new or on recap, I am not a professional. These are my opinions. This is based on my research and my reading. So it's for entertainment purposes. Do your own research if you question what I'm sort of feeling out and talking about. When we talk about receiving support, what does that really mean? And for me, receiving support means letting others help you without guilt, without apology, without shrinking, right? And I can name, pretty much probably everybody in this chat. It's like, what does that mean? We block support because we don't want to be a burden. I don't want to be a burden. I'm used to being the strong one and the one in control. I don't always trust people to show up, and often they don't. I've been disappointed before, right? These are things that we risk when we put that out there, that we need something, right? Receiving support is this nervous system recalibration. It teaches the body that help is safe, and it's not always safe. And so how do we present it and do it that it's safe? And where in your life do you resist support even when you need it. Now, that's not just financial, but financial is a big one. How often have some of us been in a pickle and we need help? And either we've asked before and we don't want to do it again, or we're embarrassed that we need help. That could be getting a ride from a friend that, you're not driving for an extended period of time, you don't have a car, whatever the situation. You need some kind of assistance or support. And, it's supposed to make it easier, but we don't always feel that way. Okay, let me see yes, I'm going to skip the deliverance conversations, guys. Now I have the time I need to devote to my channel and business idea. Absolutely. That's what I asked for, and that's what I have. So unemployment wasn't the way I expected to get that time, but yes, you're not going to waste it. Great. It was beautiful yesterday. I had such a conversation with ChatGPT. Oh, wait a minute. Wait 1 minute, please. I haven't checked the calendar. Happy birthday to Misha. Happy birthday to Misha. I think today's the actual birthday. Happy birthday to Misha. And many more. Happy birthday, Mish. I know we had a great time on Friday. That was a nice surprise. I hope you had fun. I think we got you good. Richard and Lucy really got you. And the rest of the crew, Darcy, Ben, everybody, they just showed up. Really lovely. Okay. So let me just scroll back 1 second. So Mish said she had a conversation with ChatGPT. It started out building prompts and ended in so much self-understanding and looking through multiple lenses. One of these days, I got to ask you how you go about talking to ChatGPT. I don't think I do it right. Just saying. Scotty says, I have a problem accepting anything from anyone makes me feel like I can't provide. 100%, Scotty. And I think this is a difference between men and women. Men have been geared toward being the providers. But since I've been on my own my whole life, I am my only provider. And I was the one with a decent job for the longest time in my family with my mom. And I felt like, well, I can do this. And even if I couldn't, I had a credit card or 12. So it was like, whoosh, whoosh. And I think part of it was self-preservation, right? One of the things about support, giving or receiving, it's almost a shameful thing. And it's not supposed to be about that, because you would never, giving someone, you probably would not make them feel like there was something to be ashamed of. We all need help. Everybody, I got a song, in my head, sometime in our life. We all have pain. We all have sorrow. Lean on me, right? I'm not singing it, but I want to. So yes, Scotty, I can see that, and I can see for men it might even be a little bit more difficult because it has been bred into the genetics of men in some way. Me caveman, me provide, me go out. And then you're like, oh, sorry, me need. And Ben actually got ChatGPT to help refine his hypnosis induction. It didn't do a bad job, just needed a little correction here and there. Excellent, Ben. We never have connected on this topic, but that's okay. You're doing your thing. Indigo says, that makes sense, Scotty, but you also need support and acknowledgement. So thank you for all that you do and taking time to support in the chat. How long does Misha's birthday last? Oh, well, Krumel, if you're Teresa, and a lot of people didn't get to celebrate my birthday this year, it's not just a day, it's not just a week, it's a month plus, because I'm not going to see my friends this month. And my birthday was the end of last month, right? So we're celebrating in July. I mean, I I love to just hang out with my friends. And if we need an excuse to celebrate, I'm your girl. So Misha's got all month. Um, yes, lean on me. Absolutely, Karen. There I go. Scotty boy, I give so freely. That's when I'm out of balance. We're going to talk about that, Scotty, because giving is also overcompensating sometime, and there's more to that as well. Cromel, they did a few days ago. So, yes, we did surprise the tricksters. We all need someone to lean on. um, that's it at Bacon Biz. People think they can type in what they want and output just comes. It does not. It's a partnership thing. Yes, with GPT, Chat GPT. Yes. Ben doesn't celebrate birthdays. Well, Ben, I'm going to pick one day mysteriously. We're just going to celebrate you. It does become a turning point. Okay, so let me just get back to my thought process, because my little brain, you know what I'm saying? It's a little ADD brain. So we talked about where we resist support even when we need it. And who is someone you could have asked for help but haven't? And that's the other thing. So the next pillar of this receiving is, and I can, just by saying it, I celebrate mine. I was born on a holiday. Ooh, Scotty boy, what holiday? Receiving pleasure and joy. This is about letting yourself feel good without waiting for permission or productivity. You deserve it. Receiving joy, we block that, right? We block it by guilt. I should be doing something else. Or there's trauma conditioning that, well, who do you think you are, right? Feeling undeserved. And this month, I want to invite you all to just practice micro moments of joy as a spiritual discipline. And that can be watching your favorite show instead of cleaning your damn house, or, ordering in food instead of cooking. Now, I know some of this is money wise, but you get where I'm going with this. It's taking that half day. So I'm here for my brother and his friend who's in the hospital getting the stem cell transplant. And every single day, a couple of times a day, I take pictures of his 3 dogs, because really my pups are not going to bring him the same joy that his 3 do. And I really wish I could set up, I should have brought a tripod. If you all could see me in my little bed scrunched with my 2 dogs and then 3 big golden retrievers, it's comedic genius, I'm telling you. I could do a whole YouTube channel and start over. I'd probably have 100,000 subscribers. But, it's doing something for somebody else, supporting them during their journey. It can be as simple as taking a photograph, which I love. Photos bring joy for me. Music brings joy for me. That's how I can give to myself. Is there one small pleasure that you've denied yourself recently? And what brings you joy that costs nothing? And I just named a couple, right? Now, a couple things bring me joy that I can't have because it's not good for me. Being in my brother's house where there's nothing for me to cheat on with. Hi, puppers. You want to come over and say hello? Look at this handsome boy. This brings me joy. Look at this punum. Look at that face. Look at how adorable he is. Uh-oh. Here comes more dogs. So, all right. No, Ava. Ava. All right, I got to put you on mute for a second. She's talking. All right. I said something. I either kicked a dog and everybody got out of whack. So there was a cacophony of howling and barking. Um, okay. You got to sit down. Sweet girl, sit down. I can't. You're breathing too heavy and it's hot. And I don't want to be hot in that particular way. I'm already sticky. Um, I don't care. It's a damn holiday. Oh, I missed what he said. Shit. Hold on. I cursed. Sorry. I missed. Let me come back. Hold. Bacon chased, but I'm afraid. To. Okay, I'm missing some of that conversation. I think it makes sense to feel out balance. Think about it as tides. You ebb and flow. We all need a moment to float instead of treading water. April Fool's Day. Ah, great day. I have my cousin John. He's also born on April 1st. I don't care. It's a damn holiday. It is a damn holiday. May I light the candle for your brother's friend? Absolutely. My friend who's watching my girl Marley at home, my kitty cat, she put Richard's name in a prayer circle just because I'm not in it. I mean, I believe in the power of prayer. And this is something, I don't think Richard's in the chat, but he and I were going to have a conversation about religion. And I really wanted to talk about this because I found a really great channel that was talking about having faith in God, but not associating religion and what that really means. Lucy, please, sweet girl, you're breaking my patience. Too often when given things, there has been many strings attached or friendships lost, and it takes it to an ugly place. Singing brings you joy, but very uncomfortable for others. Oh, I don't even care anymore. I don't. Scotty, I was out in that mountain. If anybody's in the surrounding houses, they're far away, but it's going to echo in that mountain. I don't give a bloody hell. Yes, we do, Carmel. We love them. I love my photos. Love them, love them, love them. They bring me so much joy. They capture that moment. Even the ugly photos, this sometimes sad or darker photos, they bring so much vivid reflection of whatever you're seeing in that moment. Because really, it's what we see when we take that picture. Well, I would like to talk to you about that then, Mish. Really and truly. I am able, if I can get to the top of the hill, I have great reception, phone reception. If I find a spot in this house, I cannot move from that spot in order to have a conversation. So the bad thing about this, we haven't figured it out because my brother has got cable and every TV, it works. You move left or right with that phone and you get disconnected. But I would love to talk about it. And Hales also just had a birthday. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, whichever name you're going by today. I find you Indigo, Indigo Blackthorn, Hales on Facebook. Just much love. Mwah, as Mish would say. I got you. I got you guys. I got you. Oh. Yes, go to Carmel's channel. He's got great pictures, guys. Oh my gravy. You want to talk about and a whole bunch of them. Like it's not just one theme. I love those pictures. Um okay, let's see. Where am I? I think I want to have a conversation about physics under Planck's distance and the way physicists are running to quantum physics like a boy running home to mama. Okay, I'm not your girl on that conversation. I'll listen to it, but I ain't your girl to talk about it. That's why we went to the 333 is love and prayers. Yep. And anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked, but yes, I agree. Hales, Indigo is fine. Indigo is my witch name. I need a witch name. Well, in Italian, it's bruja, so I guess I'm just going to skip that topic. I was going to go right to it, but I'm going to skip it. So next part of this, right, is clarity, receiving clarity. So that's another form of receiving. It's insight, it's intuition, guys. And it's this inner knowing arriving when we stop trying to force answers and we stop ignoring our intuition. And everybody has it. Every last one of you has it. And, when we stop overthinking, and this is about me. So I guess I should just change the we, but communally, I feel like it is a we, right? When we stop trying to control the outcomes, the conversations, we create space for truth to come out and to rise to the surface. This is really a month of just intuitive downloads. I wish you could hear this dog. It's hysterical. She's having some really good dreams. So I would say, what clarity have you been avoiding because it would require change? And that's the other thing. And we talk about this. We all want something, but we also have to make an effort. Me moving out here to the boondocks requires an act of faith on my part that I'll find a community. Watching everyone celebrate Mish on Friday was one of the most joyful things for me to witness. We're not even physically in the same room, and I felt like we were all blowing out a candle on her cake. There's a community that we build, and there's no right or wrong way on building a community. There's no right or wrong way to celebrate anything. It's what works. So why do we avoid it? Clarity is like the light bulb moment, right? I can picture, the little light bulb above my head going ding. And, but now you have to do something about it. Kind of like that quantum physics things that Ben was talking about. Light bulbs are going off for people. But what does that mean? What do we change? How do we assess the next step in order to make something come true? What question have you been asking the universe lately? And I think I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, I was walking the dog because as connected as I feel like to the universe, there was nothing. I was like, ding dong. Nobody was answering the door. There was no message coming through. I felt no energies around me. So I was in the dog park with the dogs and I was like, hey, God, it's me, Teresa. Where the hell is everybody? There's nobody there. And then this ginormous bird, which I believe was a red-tailed hawk. The red-tailed hawk has a little bit of a white undercarriage, but these gigantic, I think, pterodactyl wings. And he sat in this dead tree at the top of it staring at me. And I'm like, oh, okay. Hi. Talk about God answering. And I thought, the message that came to me was shut up and listen. And you have to go into your quiet space. Well, I've been avoiding the quiet space because I didn't want to hear. Isn't that funny? So I'm asking for someone, where's the presence? Yet I sort of turned the channel off and there was nobody, no response, no energy. I felt very disconnected, very alone. And it doesn't mean I still don't feel those things, but it's not in that way. I really felt like the channel went dark. And I know it's an opportunity and it was a coincidence that this beautiful bird appeared. But can you imagine? It was like, I literally said, hey, God, like, hello, we're angels. Where the hell is everybody? What, puppy? What do you have to say? What do you want to tell me? Are you trying to tell me something? I'm going to the chat. Let me read the chat, okay? I got you. Oh, you're giving me kisses? Yeah, you avoid it because it's scary. Absolutely. It seems like every answer I get provides at least 10 more questions, and that's okay. I do believe that. That's okay. All right. You're making me change is scary. Absolutely. It's scary. And I think that's part of the reason why I hermited. I got myself away from talking to people. I got myself into my home and basically don't open the door. I don't go places. And that's because it requires me to participate or to make a change. And that means I may not feel safe because when I speak, I felt like I was being shut down and attacked. Now, I know that people say you don't talk politics and you don't talk religion, but these are things that are so prevalent in society that impact me on a daily basis. So not talking about it means what am I supposed to talk about? So I don't talk to anybody about anything because these are things that shape me. Hello, girl. The third dog's here. She's a good girl, but she's in the wrong position for you guys to get to meet her. It's okay. I know, Softa. Um, wow, I didn't know that, Indigo. Red-tailed hawks represent spiritual clarity, heightened vision, and divine connection. The universe heard you and delivered. Holy cow. I did not know that. That's awesome. I've always been like Samson. Hair was your superpower. Hello. Mish says, guess what I'm doing soon? Yep, cutting off all the trauma. I may be doing that as well in September because, as you can tell, I'm letting the natural silver white come out. Um, why can't we talk? Why can't who talk? We can talk. Yes, being seen and not home. If anyone takes it to the next level, I'll send them. I'll send them packing. Okay, I missed part of the conversation, I think. We all know you've got this. We believe in you. Well, yeah, I mean, you're starting a new journey. And this is one of the things, we could talk about this as well. Oh, if I were only 20 or 30 years younger with this knowledge, with this knowing. So Indigo, where you are right now, I send as much wave energy, love, convincing. Just do it. Just do it. If you're unemployed anyway, just freaking do it. Collect unemployment if you're allowed or whatever means you can. Because now being 63, I'm thinking to myself, missed opportunities. And when I was walking with my brother up the mountain one of the first times, we were talking that before I had my heart event, when I had my emotional crash after my mom died, and I had lost my job. I had a small extra amount of money that if I had opened up my bed and breakfast, it was ready, by the way. The rooms were ready, nine bedrooms, 8.5 baths. It was ready to go. The infrastructure was there. I wouldn't be struck. We'd be having a different conversation. I probably wouldn't be on YouTube and I wouldn't have had the heart event. Everything happens as it should. And I still can envision what I wanted that inn to be. And for the first time yesterday, when I was walking and there's the downward facing dog. Sorry, all I got was an ass in the face. I had to show you. When I was doing my meditation, it came to me that part of what I was envisioning or wanting to create could still happen. If I moved here, the space for retreats, not glamorous, well, I shouldn't say that because it could be glamorous if I so chose. I'd need an investor or I'd need somebody that would be creative with me or could help me. And I need a business person. And that's what I was saying to my brother. I'm a great ideas girl. I'm the one who would know how to talk about Reiki, and I could talk about meditation, and I can talk about hypnosis. I can talk about grief, education. I can't run the books and the numbers. Now, does I can't mean that I don't have the ability? I don't have the comprehension. Now, having said that, prior to the heart event, I still had some ability, but it's very confusing to me even to process some of that stuff. I don't want to be the person who does it all. My plan was to have a business partner of some sort. This is where some things, when you call for receiving or asking for help, the door got opened and then slammed on me a couple of times. Even creating this YouTube channel, I've struggled with certain things, and it's not easy for me. It takes me longer to process things. So if I know something already, excellent. Now I just spend extra time reading, researching, all that kind of stuff. If it's a new concept, it's more difficult and I have to read it 2 and 3 times. And then I get frustrated. It would be really nice to have that partner. And it doesn't have to be a romantic partner. It has to be a partner, someone who believes in what I want to do communally. And that moon gate that I'm going to take you to, I hope next week, would be fantastic as a meditation circle. And what my brother's plans are for his place, he's got 26 acres. It's all woods. But when we went through to see where I could put my space for my tiny home, you could have a half a dozen tiny homes. It's not prepackaged, Guy. There's another word for it. Maybe Scotty knows what I mean. Prefabricated or it comes with a kit, whatever that word is. Yes, you need contractors. So prepared to get screwed and not enjoy it. But you could have 3 or 4 of those on this property. You could do some of those really glamorous tents that you see or I see on YouTube all the time, that they go out in the woods in the winter with the snow and they're all bundled up and you can cook in them and have beds. And I don't know what they do for toilets. They never show that part of the romantic part of camping, but it's possible. And that's what I wanted to say. It's possible. All right. So I'm seeing the chat scroll by like crazy. Carmel Scotty didn't know Carmel was a guy. Check out his channel. You'll see he's a guy. I have stalker times, LOL. I have spent days, weeks on my friends' social accounts, getting to know them better. It is so unfair, though. I have so many conversations, but they are not part of it until I give them the image I created for them. It means so much to me, but they often haven't a clue. You're the stalker. Um, Indigo says, now that I trust myself, things are falling into place. Well, and that's also part of it. And we weren't groomed, raised, cultivated to trust ourselves. And that's why I wanted to talk to Richard, because he and I, from the background anyway, from a religious perspective, that we wanted to have this conversation. You're groomed, you're cultivated by family, by faith, by religion, by community, by cult, whatever it is. And quite frankly, all religions are cults, but I don't want to go there today. And so, anyway. Oh, the crystal hugs. Yep. Okay, it seems like every answer I get provides at least 10 more questions. I thought I was there already. Okay. Oh, yes, because I read about it in Red Tail Hawks. Okay, so I went too far back. Just give me a second. I'm going to catch up to you guys. Thank you. Tiff is in the house. Hello, Tiff. I'm so sorry I didn't see you before. Illusion, Body Illusion is here. Hey, Luce. Am I forgetting anybody else? Summertime. Scotty Boy cuts off the hair. All right. Maybe that's what was scrolling by so fast. I think that is knowledge and growth. Maybe I will get there someday. Well, I think that's the journey, and that's the joy of this journey, right? Knowledge comes, that's what wisdom is. We don't start out wise. Well, I would disagree. So I think when we're born, we have all the knowledge we need, and then it's basically talked out of us. And then we become these babies and these innocents and these impressionable young people, young souls, young spirits that are led, guided, created, and that changes things. Okay, we got some. There's Richard. You are here. Hello, Richard. I've been talking about you and me making a religious conversation. So when I get a little bit more settled here at my brother's, I'm going to send you a Facebook message so that we can plan something, because it's so prevalent right now. I think it would be fun to have this discussion. I start out great at the beginning of events, and it's the endings where I stumble. You need to get on that then at Just Tip, because if you could see things through our eyes, you would realize that there is not one need for that. That there is not one need for that. You are amazing to me. Okay, I missed something in a conversation. Sorry, guys. I'm trying here. Oh, you say sing more? My brother says I sing like a dead cow. So either you have really bad hearing or my family just doesn't like my voice. um, oh, trees and Richard sitting in a tree. I don't think his wife would like that, but um, we have that commonality, and we've talked about wanting to do a show on religion and faith, and how they're not the same. It's funny. What did I just see? Um, Give me a second. It said, am I going to be able to find it? So if I share with you guys what I was writing, you'll probably all freak out at me. Um, Faith is between me and God. Religion is between you and other people who claim to speak for God. Interesting, right? I think it's interesting. And those people who claim to speak for God are usually half-assed. And yes, I am taking care of all the doggies. Or are you taking care of doggies? Oh, please subscribe to Kermel. He's got great photos, guys. Indigo says, I believe it's important to have discussions on topics that are supposedly taboo. I have learned and grown so much since meeting you all. Thank you. And one of the things that, and I have talked to my brother about this too, is, I see so many young people. I can't relate to their struggles. These 18, 19, 20-year-olds. One of my friends, so someone can correct me, so please nobody be offended. Her daughter has transitioned to a son. He's still in the throes of it. So being transgender, there is no more he, she anymore. It's a they, and that's a whole nother topic because I don't get it. If you've transitioned to one of the other sexes, then aren't you that sex? Now, this is, and there's no judgment. It's just a lack of comprehension. But what I've been explained is not the whole body. The whole body doesn't actually transition. Hence the they. You're in between being both. But psychologically, you are. I'm struggling. You are a different way. So if you were a girl, you're a boy, it's psychologically, or you were a boy and you think you're a girl, or you are a girl, not think. So the they strips that away. Now, there are other things that I had just know young people, some just don't want to identify as either. You accept me as I am. And obviously our establishment and our politicians, and don't get me started on fundamentalists, and they won't ever be part of my channel because I don't subscribe, prescribe, ascribe to any of their philosophies. But I sound like my grandmother. Oh, those kids today, I don't get them. So there's a generation of us trying to fill the void. And so as a person of the 60s generation and 70s, this is not something we could ever have envisioned. Doesn't mean that it didn't happen, because I've seen a gazillion documentaries. But that's not the point. And I digress. Oh, it's to have discussions on things. Thank you, Indigo. Thank you, Scotty. I appreciate you saying that to me. I scrolled by again. I'm having a problem with scrolling. Hold on. All right. Your brother probably likes your voice too. He's just your brother. No, my family is very vocal. My father did not like my voice. I was in multiple performances in in the last couple of decades. I did theater and performances, and there was the feedback. Well, those guys were really good. You should probably practice. I don't even want to get there. It doesn't matter. It's not everybody. My voice is an annoyance to my family, I think. So it just is what it is. I would love to see that conversation. Oh, we'll definitely promote the conversation if even Richard wants to do it. Faith comes in many forms and is pure. Religion tends to be warped by human perception and experience. Well, that's true. And they are always wrong. Only I can speak for God. I was going to say that, Richard. I really was. I was going to say, no. I am the final word. I am the goddess of all goddesses. Let me tell you how you should live your life. I would think you are they if you are bi. Is that wrong? Girl, I don't know. That's a topic that if I were going to have that conversation, I would want people who are experiencing it. I've only been a woman. I've only always wanted to be a woman. That's not something, I didn't want to dress up and be a guy. I have a mouth. Well, is that fair to say to like a trucker? I used to. And I grew up with all boys, so I kind of roughhoused and was. I think I used to say it was more Kate Hepburn than Audrey Hepburn, but I really wanted to be Audrey Hepburn. So I'm not delicate in the way that I would like to be delicate as a woman, but I didn't grow up that way. And I had to fend for myself a lot because I didn't just grow up with all boys in the family. My neighborhood was all boys and there was a lot of exclusion. So, doesn't matter. Let's see. Well, I don't know if it's a brain thing gone wrong, Scotty, because you could say that about people who are gay. And I don't, having so many family members in my life that are gay, I don't see anything wrong with who they are or who they love. And I think in your body, if you're called to be something else, I don't know if it's wrong. I can't, again, that's, who am I to tell you you're right or wrong? I've made so many mistakes on my own, but I can imagine that struggle has got to be overwhelming. And I'm not close with my girlfriend's child that's going through this experience. I'm only observing and listening to her as she's sharing the story with me. It is not for the faint of heart. And this has been going on for a long time for this person who's now in their 20s and still trying to find their place in the world. So I can only imagine and am grateful that that's not a struggle I have because I've got enough. Oh, if you're an amateur photographer, Carmel, then I don't know how you would describe mine. So, Oh, I don't know this one. D-Mind of Boon Sen. Who the heck is that? All right. Well, so somebody just shared that. Mish did. All right. I'll take a gander. Karen Suki, no, again, sexuality and gender are not synonymous. So a female to male person. Okay. We're going to save that for another day. Hey, New York Dips is in the house. I'm not qualified to say what's what. Yeah, I'm with you. Scotty, I'm with you, man. All males are technically trans. All human beings developing with a female pattern. There you go. I think that we are all who we are supposed to be. Each of us are our own journey. Most of us are just looking for others who will let us without telling us how to do it. Oh, yeah, there's always going to be someone to tell you. And quite frankly, I think if you made me president of the United States, I have no problem to tell everybody where they could go. I am queen. You may worship me now. Morgan Freeman had it right. When you want to end the labeling and racism, simply you stop talking about it. Kind of makes sense. It does. Okay. Da, 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 da. I was born a girly. She, her. All right. We're at 6 o'clock. Shoot, I had more to say. Let me just go through my notes to see if there was anything else more, tangible. Oh, so receiving abundance. So abundance isn't just about money, it's time, it's energy, it's opportunity, it's nourishment. So what is abundance mean? Well, it's worthiness, right? It's openness, it's capacity, it's boundaries, it's gratitude. And this month, I want us to allow it to teach us, yes, puppy, that abundance flows where there is space and readiness. So, what does abundance look like for you this month? Where do you feel full and where do you feel empty? What's the one thing you can release to make room for abundance? And then just from the shadow side of receiving, and this can always get juicy here, and maybe I'll add this for another day. I don't know if I'll make Thursdays. I know I had said I was only going to do once a month, but if I and I'll be leaving here Thursday to go home to check in on my cat. It's about a 4-hour drive, depends on when I leave here, so I might continue this topic, I think. So I'm going to pause it, but this shadow side of receiving is where I want to leave off, where we talk about the common blocks of feeling unworthy and the fear of being disappointed and the fear of being seen. And I think that it deserves more than a 2-second, well, this is another bullet point. So I'm gonna table it for the next show, whenever that is, because I want to make sure I wrap up on all the comments. And I should have stopped my scrolling. Okay. You want to run longer? I can run longer. I just didn't want to overstay my welcome. Well, that's true, Indigo. So, not talking about a topic, whatever it is, doesn't prevent it from happening. And I think putting the topic in a closet hasn't helped us either. And I don't know if you have to change society. I don't want to. So, that's no better than someone imposing their views on me, on you. And this is again where I want to have this religion conversation, because if you've been raised with a certain way of believing and thinking, I know that it's limited. You're narrowing it. And if you have a child in your life, if you're in that world of, let's just say Catholicism, because that's what I can speak about, and you say that you're damned and going to hell if you're gay, I'm just going by the messages my family members have received, or they're less worthy, or they're less who they are. So because you're gay, you're not really manly, or you're not really feminine. The judgments that you're raised with. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm going to share information with you. You get to choose, but you also have to, and you don't, but you would have to accept the consequences. That if you're going to say, I don't love this person because they're gay and who they love, that person who is judging must be prepared to be excluded from that person's life. I'm moving on. I used to be told that if I dated a certain person or kind of person, my family wouldn't accept that person. And so I was like, for a long time, I was like, well, do I have to date in secrecy whoever I'm attracted to? That might not fall within the confines of what someone finds acceptable. I was like, well, here's a list of ethnicities that I'm not going to date. Okay. And here's a list of color I'm not going to date. And here's a list of professions that I can't date. I'm like, no. And if I, at the time, was blessed to fall in love with somebody, and you didn't accept that person, it would be really, really hard for me to keep you in my life. And that has been a struggle in my family for most of my life, because I've watched what my dad did. I've watched what some of my brothers have done, cousins, aunts, uncles. There's been chaos in our family and exclusionary. And then certain things happened in a specific time period around my mom dying that blew up my family. And then hate was replaced because you didn't accept my opinion and I didn't accept yours, and we couldn't find common space because it was better to spew venom. And it's like, nope, I'm backing up. And if I'm backing up, it doesn't mean I don't love you, but I also don't need to talk to you every day. I don't need to visit with you. I don't need to, I don't need it. It's I don't want to incorporate hate. That's not abundance. And I'm really not here to judge you. I may not understand you, and that I would share, is I don't get it. I don't get where you're coming from. I think that's more honest. So if I said to Mish one day, Mish, I just don't get this topic, Mish could say to me, okay, well, so this is what I'm feeling. And I'm using Mish because I know that she's not going to be uptight just by me using her name. So, but I also didn't want to say any family members, because then somebody might be listening saying, Teresa was outing us. So, so if it's a topic that's difficult, we can respond. Mish could say, well, you know what? I need more than 5 minutes of a conversation for us to talk about this. So today's not the day. I'm going to say, being enlightened, great. Let's actually set up a time to do this, because it's important for me to understand where you're coming from. And that's all I want to know. That's where political discourse comes in. I want to understand what you're thinking and why you're thinking. And is it your thoughts, or are you being told what to think and what to say and how to feel? Have you done any research in the topic? Same thing with religion. If you disagree with this religion, okay, but have you looked into the beauty of that religion? It may not be yours, but there are elements of certain religions that are glorious. Oh, and P.S., you don't believe in solar power? Is it that you don't believe in solar power or solar farms? And isn't there a difference? And don't you want to understand what the difference is? So don't tell me that I got my head up my ass because I don't want solar farms. I do agree that solar energy is a great way of powering our world. I don't believe that you should be killing the earth for it. So let's have a conversation about the pros and cons. Then we can still walk away, right? So the abundance is in sharing, is in reflection. Mish, if I could join, I would. I really want to be part of cleaning out the toilet discussion, but my brother will be coming home and the dogs will go crazy. And this is literally you missed earlier, or maybe you were here. If I move from this spot, I lose signal. It's like ET phone home, right? ET phone home. Oh, speaking of ET phone home, is Ben still here? And I don't know if anybody else is sort of into the ETs, but Disclosure is opening in theaters, I think, on Friday. And how fortuitous that we talk about alien life form, and is coming from Steven Spielberg, who I believe is an alien. All right, let me just scroll down. Boom Indigo, yes. Karen Suki, yes, I think. Okay. I can't judge a life I don't know about. Yes, Debs, that's why I want to have conversations. I can't always, again, when I argued with people in my younger years and I was balls to the walls, I knew what I was talking about. Not. But I was right and you were wrong. It took having conversations with really good friends to help me see that there are multiple ways to see things. And there's my way, there's your way, and there's somewhere in between that there's information to share. And so when we talk about receiving, getting back on topic for today, it's something that, you know, the fear of losing control, of overgiving as an identity, of trust and you know, I have a good radar of people, but it can't be that great because of some of the circumstances I've put myself into. And I'm accepting responsibility for that. That's romance, that's friendship, that's collegiate, you know, from professional business. We do and say things, we behave certain ways based on the environments that we're in. It's taking me this long to say, I can walk into that environment, I'm going to be me. I'm not going to adjust to fit into that world. So, for example, if I were at a convention talking to hypnotherapists, I'm not going to pretend to be something I'm not. I'm also not going to pretend I'm the best at it, as I am a novice. I am still a student. That's how I feel about Reiki. I may have received the certification as a Reiki master. My argument to most people is being a Reiki master comes with time. A master of anything takes time. You don't just become an expert on quantum physics. It comes with study and time, experience. That's part of the reason in most religions you have, oh God, what do they call them? They're not just pastors. They're like a novice. And then they go up the next level, and then they become a priest, and then they become, I don't know if it's a cardinal or a bishop, and then the Pope. You know, there's a whole layer, a hierarchy. What makes you one of those better than the other? It's time, it's experience, it's information, it's study. And I think that is, you know, part of our personal journey. Uh-oh. I saw something about birds exploding. Indigo says, before I get to all the jokes, I think understanding the systematic and societal traumas people live through inform why they struggle to see other perspectives. Absolutely. And then Karasuki says, how fortuitous that Congress held a UFO biologics meet on the Capitol steps earlier today demanding disclosure. Yeah, they got a lot of things to disclose they're not going to do. Rather just be us, Scotty. I feel Stephen is a serial killer. Oh, don't make me pee in my pants. You prefer princess? I'll call you whatever I want to call you. Sorry, I'll play your villain. Some say it's progress if the newspaper headline is Fifth Woman in Space, but if it's news, how much HSA it changed? Oh, how much has it changed? Won't be the first time I was the villain. Oh, I know that you and I can talk and come back if needed. Yes. In homophobic, ableist, sexist structure we push back against. It's uncomfortable to admit that we played into the structures, but we can always change ourselves first. That's what it comes down to. I preferred bedroom activities just don't belong in public places or shown to children. Go crazy just in private. Well, again, consensual anything. Go for it. Let's see, Princess Scotty. I'm just scrolling, sorry. I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty as pretty can be. I can't judge a life. And oh, we were already saw that one. Okay, so somehow some of these I almost feel like I'm double scrolling or something. Yes, Ben, there are tons of unintended consequences of solar farms, but it's not something I raise with many because it's usually thrown into a choice between two false positions. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like birds exploding. Well, so yeah, I don't want to get into it today, but I would love to talk about that too. It's harming our universe. Same thing with seeds and having a monopoly on who produces seeds and what they strip out and what they put in. And yes, some of it's conspiratorial, but I don't think of it as conspiracy. I think of it as actual. I follow this wonderful person on YouTube who's a homesteader. Her lifestyle isn't for me, but she's done a lot to raise her own food and grow her own food. And a farm nearby sprayed that Roundup, and literally her garden is dying. Her kids got sick that day because the poison blew into her yard, onto her porch. They were eating outside. The kids were playing outside. All of her vegetables, her fruit trees are shriveling from the poison. So, and it's not necessary, it's lazy. Well, so that's a judgment. I'm catching myself. There is a time and a place, but if you're going to do commercial growing, you have to come up with some plan to prevent insects and weeds. And there are solutions to that because we call it organic. And you can still have commercial organic food without chemicals. And why is it that other countries don't use chemicals and have delicious tasting food? And the peach I just ate today, and I had a cantaloupe, which is my fault because it wasn't grown locally. Clearly, we're not there yet. Tasted like, I can't even tell, it didn't even taste good. So we, in this country anyway, love to promote certain ways of being under the guise of improvement, and it's not really improvement. That's how TV dinners came about, and they're filled with chemicals. It's not real food, it's chemical food. So why not eat real food? Well, there's a profit margin and someone's making a gazillion dollars. Oh, and by the way, that's producing jobs. So it's a catch 22, right? There was a need in a market. We needed to create opportunities for people. You canned food. Then you canned other things. And it all ends up coming down to how much poison do we need in our food, in our water, in our soil. And it just doesn't get cleaned because it rains. So anyway, I don't want to go there, but it's a topic to have a discussion about. Okay. Going back, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to have a chat with the big man, but who the hell's the big man? And is it a big woman? Karen Suki says, there was an interview with Brene Brown, who I love, that really put me into another perspective, interviewing someone, and topic was about Malcolm X. Oh, interesting. I'd have to look at that. I love Brene Brown. I love her way of thinking. Being willing to acknowledge that others have the right to their own perspective and being allowed to not see things exactly as they do, but not understanding it does not mean it does not exist. I'd rather be happy than right. That's funny. Um, yeah, Monsanto, now it's Bayer. Yes, and actually, I wanted to boycott, but I'm one person to boycott Bayer because Bayer doesn't believe that their Roundup has poison in it. It's been proven time and time again. I'm getting off topic. Let me stay on topic. They have signs on farmland for GMO companies. Yep. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know how you can make sure, Indigo, that your neighbors don't use certain cleaners because aren't they entitled to use the cleaners they want to use? I mean, I agree that I don't necessarily want to have poisons in my home, but do I get to tell somebody else what they get to keep in their home, even if it's poisoning potentially my land? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, W2F. What? Yeah, what's wrong with us is right. There was a dude that Rogan talked to who was fully diabetic, went to France, and after there was no longer even pre-diabetic, moved back here within 6 months. Yeah, no, the crap here is bad, and yet there are countries that are doing it that are surviving. Now, I'm going to table this topic, but I think it's a great topic. But I want us to stay a little bit focused. Yes, vegetables are grown in tainted soil. See, we're going to spend a lot of time on this. And Richard, you're right. Um, our rules are made by companies. And the problem with that is if we the people have to be willing to say to company Bayer, I don't want your pharmaceuticals, but they're the only ones that make Bayer aspirin. I don't want to make, and they make a generic version, and they make an allergy medicine, and they make things that we the people need. Well, who's their competitor? And what is their competitor doing and putting in their products? And who's got the rights to seeds for growing our flowers and our vegetables? You don't get to tell me if I can sell those, and I'm not giving you my profits. And PS, over time, birds will take that seed and they will make a different version of it. So stop screwing around with our seeds and stop injecting chemicals into it. And then we could go down the whole AI place where by us ingesting certain chemicals, it's reformulating if we are actually all human or not human. I'll leave you with that one. Yeah, I have a couple of things I'm going to share on my post. Because when I was doing hypnosis, there's a documentary that also talked about the chemicals in food, the sugar that is put into food that makes us pre-diabetic. That even though if you're trying to be healthier and you think that you're making the right decisions, there's still chemicals, and Ben can probably talk about it more than I can, and maybe some of you others can, but your brain receives that receptor that says, "Ooh, that tastes good," and "Oh, it says it's healthy for me." And what was it that was in potato chips, and they took that out because that was such a big deal, and it was causing all this stomach upset. And what was that oil? It was some oil. Anyway, it becomes an outrage, and people have to boycott it. We, as a community, as a state, city, town, have to say, no, we don't want I can't even bring myself to say devil dogs. Devil dogs are chemicals. Twinkies will outlive the apocalypse. I still like them because of the sugar and the way that it. So it's the brain says, "Ooh, that tasted good," or "Oh, that smells really good," or when you're smoking and there's something in it. I imagine, because I don't do it, that it's filling a space. It fills a space. It fills a need. So, no. There's no barking, no growling. Relax, Ava. It's all right, Luca. Come to mama. Luca's like, Ava's growling at me. Come on, Luca. Come on. It's all right, honey. You're protected. You're safe. Come on. Up. I'd love to share that topic. There are entire places I can't consider to live because they're contaminated. Yeah, I know. Well, for sure. Ooh, all right. There's so many good things going on in these comments. Well, and one of the things that I was just reading, and we're sidetracked, so I'm going to postpone the rest of that topic for another day. But one of the things that I was reading and listening to on YouTube, my favorite place to get information, if you're trying to regenerate soil, but you're using and watering from town municipal water. Hold on, I think someone's knocking. I'm in the woods. It's not like there's a neighbor to knock on the doors, guys. But one of the puppies was trying to sneak out the side door and scared the bejesus out of me. And then the dogs all went running chasing a deer. Oh my giddy aunt. And I don't have a weapon, guys. I have 5 dogs here. So sorry about that. So they were talking about, I'm sorry, I'm going to finish this thought. They were talking that if you're watering your garden from your hose, there's chlorine in it. So the chlorine is poisoning the plants in the soil. Now, if you use tap water and you leave it out for 24 hours, something about the chlorine dissipates, and so it's safe to use the water. What am I supposed to do with the hose? So it's a whole boondoggle of toxins. And the fact that we have to put chlorine and other chemicals to clean the water. Okay. Yes, Mish. People's ultimate goal is money, not people. Isn't communism the concept of it? And this is another thing I'd love to talk about at some point. It was about communal living, right? So we all are participating in the success of each other. No one's richer than anyone else because we all have the same blessing, whatever that is. And at the time period, that was food, that was shelter, that was heat, that was, all the essentials, medical care. That has morphed with technology that now, well, my TV is bigger than your TV and my TV can talk to me. And now my TV can actually program my coffee pot to cook. And now we can tell my microwave to go into the refrigerator and take out my TV dinner and plug it in. And pretty soon we're not going to need to do anything. And so are we really human? how much of it's not independence, but how much of our self-sufficiency do we want to turn over to someone else? And there's another word for it. It's not coming to me. I didn't want to leave the sound on, Karen. You should have heard the cacophony of all these dogs. And it's only going to kick on in a minute. So I am going to be dropping off soon. But the fur babies are hysterical. They won't protect me, Mish. Are you kidding? They'll all roll over, lay down, show you their belly and say, hey, axe murderer, just scratch my belly. Oh, you want to kill my mama? Go ahead. But make sure she feeds me first. Fluoride is supposed to evaporate. Not sure if I don't know. And, I have mixed feelings about fluoride. So in the energy healing community, well, hello, how'd you sneak in? It's Luca. Now all the dogs are coming back in the side door. So I know. Go ahead. You want to say hello to everybody? That if you use toothpaste with fluoride, it stunts your third eye. It inhibits it. So who the hell knows? My ultimate goal is to spread the love I never received as a child. Amen. I'm up to receiving. I love love. And I've been love deprived. That's why I got puppers. They're full of the love and annoyance. Right, Lucy? All right, you got to come sit. You're breathing on me again. That's the one thing I'm not a fan of. Live upstairs. Live upstairs from you. That would be lovely. I live upstairs from you. Oops. Good to see Luca doing well. Oh, yes, my cutie pie is fine. Seriously? So this one is Ava, and this one is Lucy. They are pretty. Their tails are weapons, and they kick, even in the sleep. Excuse me, I'm sitting here. I'm still working here. Oh, good Lord. All right, guys, I think what it's telling me is it's time for me to sign off. This was fun, and I really think that there are many. Oh, wait a minute. Carmel said, we still have all clean, non-polluted water that is coming from basins in our sand dunes. No chlorine, no fluoride, or whatever. That is probably why Nestle wants to see that water as their property. No one should be owning it, and no one should be screwing with it. And it comes down to control and profit. And what are you gaining by poisoning the whole world? Does everybody want to eat chemical filet mignon? Chemical lettuce and tomato and cucumber? I don't. So, this is the stuff that I think, and then they want to sell it to you. Yes, Karen. It's amazing. Thanks, Scotty. These chuckleheads. I'm getting kicked over here. If I wanted to be kicked, I don't want to be kicked anymore. Stop kicking me. But it's disheartening. And yet we have a voice and we're not using it collectively. There is a woman, I think I shared it on my community post. Her name is Alexandra Fasulo, I think. She has a small farm in upstate New York, and she has been a proponent against solar farms. And she's suing the state and the governor of New York right now because they're still allowing, knowing that it's poisoning certain communities, solar farms. And they just signed a contract with a foreign company. So it's not even benefiting that community in New York. And I love her. She's a young woman. She's balls to the walls information. She does all her research, and she tells you where she gets her research. And it comes down to politics. And the politicians want the money from these creeps that want to pollute the world. And now they want to get on a freaking rocket and go and do that to Mars. Great, congratulations. Could you go do that now? Not, So anyway, all right. I love you guys. Thank you for this engaging conversation today. I know we were all over the place. It really means a lot to me that you showed up. I'm really glad that I was here today. I've got to let the other dogs they're basically knocking on the door. They're going to break through in a minute. And they know it's dinner time because it's 6:30 and that's when they get fed. Oh, all right. Here's Safta. And now I'm just missing, I don't know. Ava, if you jump on that counter and eat that, yeah, you're in trouble, girl. Okay. I sent you with love, with light, with healing, with compassion, with patience. Wish me and send me some patience. Sprinkled with a lot of laughter and joy and giggles. Until next time, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. It means so much that you're here. So, okay, you can't lick the keyboard. I know. Okay. My poor puppies are so confused. So you guys be well. We're going to be talking more about this kind of stuff, and it sounds like you're interested. So this lights my fire. So, okay, guys, thank you for being here. So much love to all of you. Mwah! Till next